Hey YouTube, Jason here, coming to you from JM Chicagoland Cichlids Fish Room Showroom located here in Morris, Illinois. JMChicagolandCichlids.com, Jason Michelle Morris on Facebook, and JM Chicagoland Cichlids on Instagram. So today's video is going to be a little informative video. We're going to show you how we recaulk, reseal a aquarium. We're going to do a nice little guy here. It's a 10-gallon tank. Kind of funny, it's only a little over a year old. Bought it at the $1 per gallon sale. I caught it, had a slow leak. It was about halfway down. It was like 3 steady drips kind of coming out of it. I can't exactly see where the leak was in there, but we're going to rip out all the old caulk and redo the whole tank. So we're going to show you step by step how we do it and what tools we need. So start out the video. Let's go over and show you what we're going to need, or what I use, or what you're going to need. Straight razor blade, retractable. Also got an extra blade right here. This guy's kind of nice for getting in the corners, making sure you get all that caulk out of the very inside corners. Also a putty knife, helps you scrape out some of the old stuff. Masking tape, once we get everything done and cleaned up, we're going to mask it off. And you'll see that later. Rubbing alcohol, paper towels. We're going to use this to clean up the aquarium when we're done, before we put the tape on, before we put the new silicone on. So what we use, we got a couple too, like just a half a tube. Got this at Menards. It's DAP, 100% silicone. So I make sure it's 100% silicone and don't have no additives for mold proofing or whatever. Some stuff does, so it's 100% silicone. GE makes stuff, DAP. Just make sure you get 100% silicone. We got the clear. If you like the look of black, they do have the black silicone. Some of our tanks do have black. The last thing you're gonna need is a caulking gun. So getting back to this, we've done several tanks. We started out buying a lot of used fish tanks on Craigslist when we first started the fish room, and then we started buying the finished off. A lot of our tanks came for $1 per gallon sale, which I thought was the better way. But in this case here, this guy didn't even last over a year. So anyways, I've done several tanks. I've done 55s, 29s, all kinds of different ones. But I want to put it on video to show you guys how to do it yourself. So, all right, let's get this party started here. Right here, just using the straight edge razor blade, going down one side of the seal, trying to remove the silicone. And I'll switch it up, go down the opposite side. Pretty much want to cut as close as you can to the glass, putting a lot of pressure on, trying to get all that old silicone off there. And as you get it cut, you want to try to get it peeled away the best you can. There, a nice big chunk came off, but you usually got different tools to get it off. There's the other razor. That's nice for getting in the corners. Also use a putty knife. Pretty much got to do whatever you can to get that old silicone off there. I'm just doing the back corner now, same way, cutting from top to bottom or bottom to top, trying to loosen up all that old stuff to get it off. It takes some time. You're going to have to hit it a couple different times. But your first pass here, you want to get off all of the majority of it, the big chunks. You're going to have some left in the corners and stuff, so we'll come back and get that later. The stuff right along the top cover, underneath that plastic there, is usually hard to get to, and that's important. You want to get that all the way up, the new stuff all the way up there. So usually the old stuff is up there and it's stuck pretty good. It's hard to get off. Using a putty knife again.
Scraping off that excess silicone. Alright, here we fast forward a little bit. We got our first pass of all the silicone, all the majority of it off. So right here we're just going back, getting whatever little bits left. Like I say, it takes a couple different times. So going around, cutting off anything that we see. Again, using that knife gets down in the very corners real good. See the stuff falling out there. So this is our second pass, just cleaning it up a little bit more. Alright, one of the tools that we didn't tell you about at the beginning, a vacuum cleaner. That's one of the most important tools here. Cleaning up all that little debris. You get a lot of little chunks, you get big chunks. You want to get all that debris out of there before you recaulk the tank. So we're going around there just vacuuming all the dust out. Alright, here's where the rubbing alcohol comes into play. This is all fast forwarded here. We'll go through it. Just wipe everything down real good. Don't be afraid to put a lot of rubbing alcohol on that rag. See, I missed a spot there. Sometimes you put that alcohol on there, you'll see a little bit still adhered to the glass. Some of the old silicone. Scrape it off. Wipe it down again. It's one of the most important parts of this. You want to get that surface as clean as you can. Not only for the masking tape to stick, but for that silicone to stick. Again, use a lot of that rubbing alcohol. Get new rags as the old ones get dirty. And go over it one final time to make sure everything is clean with a nice clean rag. Okay, here I'm going to show you a quick view. Got all the old silicone out, wiped it all down with alcohol. It's pretty much ready to be taped and silicone to be applied. See, everything is gone. All the old silicone's gone. Nice and clean, ready to start the taping process. Alright, we're to the masking portion now. This part does take time, it's kind of tedious. Don't have to be perfect. The parts you really want to get real nice are your front corners and your sides. Your bottom not so much, it's going to be covered with substrate. So this time do whatever you got to do. Flip the tank upside down on its side, whatever way is easier for you to get that tape in there. We try to leave like a 1/4 inch gap to a 3/8 of inch gap all the way around both sides of the corner. You'll need a razor knife here. Sometimes you got a piece a little long. Use that nice straight edge of the razor blade to cut a nice clean line. Using a razor knife once again to cut some excess off. So we're just flipping this tank around whatever way is easiest for you to get the tape on. When you got a 55 or a tank's over 36 inches long, we'll have a cross member across the middle. That does make it a little bit difficult. This 10 gallons pretty easy. It's all open at the top. But that cross member at the top will make a difference on getting the old silicone off, putting a new silicone on, and putting the masking tape on. Alright, we got most of this thing taped off now, getting towards the end. Last couple pieces. Again, it's about a 1/4 inch to 3/8 inches of a gap on all sides of the corners. Okay, now I'm all done here. Just showing you the gaps, all taped up, ready to be siliconed. You see that gap on the sides along the bottom there. That'll give you nice clean lines once you silicone and peel that tape off. Alright, we're going to hit it with a vacuum cleaner one more time. Suck off any little dust particles or little pieces of silicone. One final prep before the silicone is going to be applied. So again, the vacuum cleaner, very important tool. Alright, there's my silicone tube. I cut the tip about a 45-degree angle. Poke the hole down in the foil at the top so you can get the silicone up. This video is going to be in fast forward or two here. Get a nice big thick bead down there. All your corners. Nothing's looking pretty yet. It's getting a nice amount of silicone applied everywhere. It's kind of tricky. Sometimes you got to move the caulk gun around, start from the other way. Whatever way is the easiest to get it on for you, sometimes you got to move it around, start from the other side. See on this back seam here, I'll start this way and then spin it around. Doesn't matter, you're going to put it on thick and then you're going to smooth it all off and connect it with your finger at the end. Alright, now we're going to look at the tank with the silicone applied. Hasn't been smoothed off, not done yet. See, I got a nice thick bead in all the corners on the bottom. Okay, here you go. Get your finger wet, start smoothing out that silicone. Start anywhere you want. Just work your way around. Hitting all the corners, this is where you're going to kind of get the final touch to your silicone. Push it into those corners nice and deep. Get a nice smooth finish. If you use a lot of silicone like I did, you will have some excess. You'll have to wipe off sometimes. Sometimes it'll be on a tape, that's fine. We're going to pull the tape off anyways right away. So let's go around, smooth off that silicone. Give it that finished look. Inspecting it. Making sure everything's looked good. Immediately after you get done, you can start peeling the tape. You got to peel that tape off before the silicone sets up. You'll never get it off. Just be careful at this point because you have excess on that tape. That tape touches up against the glass. We have a glob of silicone. No big deal. We'll get a razor blade, scrape that off before we fill it. So that's pretty much it. You're going to pull off the tape. And I let it sit 24 hours before I put water in it. We'll put water in it for a day, make sure it holds. Sometimes you need to get a putty knife here to get that tape going. Get all that tape off there. Let it sit 24 hours and we're all ready to go. Here's a final look at it with the tape off. You notice I put that silicone on there nice and thick. Probably about 3 times as much as they originally had on there. Of course, the original caulk leaks, so there's a nice straight line on the front edge there. That's why I used the masking tape. Any questions, you guys hit me up on below. Again, thanks for watching. Hope this helps you out.